The use of weapon trafficking in One Piece is a web of complexity that is fueling conflict all around the One Piece world. As we know, weapons play a major role in empowering villains like Don Quixote Doflamingo and Kaido to wreak havoc, but also highlight the large amount of corruption within the world officials that we all know as the world government, and also corrupt tyrants' exploitation over ruled lands to make this all happen. However, where exactly are these weapons coming from, and who are the players making this all possible? In this video, I'll be analyzing and addressing the process of this industry's transactions, which makes everything work out as intended, along with the values of these weapons that bring in so much disorder to the world, but also exposing the complex web of weapon trafficking that empowers tyrants to oppress people across oceans enabled by deep-rooted corruption. We'll name names, spotlight exploited resources that fuel this pipeline, and of course address the real victims who suffer the most. As always, if you'd like to see future One Piece content such as this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and feel free to leave suggestions for ideas of videos you would like to see in the future in the comment section below. We start off in Dressrosa, under the iron grip of warlord Don Quixote Doflamingo. While publicly sanctioned by the world government, Doflamingo secretly leverages Dressrosa's resources in tandem with a pipeline supplying weapons globally. This is the first bit of information given in the story about the weapons trafficking scheme that was occurring. Overall, Doflamingo was selling weapons to fuel global wars. These weapons fan the flames of conflicts whose chaos benefits Doflamingo's puppeteer aggression. They were sold from Dressrosa, but were made somewhere else. Later on, we learned that Doflamingo had been trading these weapons as a favor in exchange for possession of smile fruits. These smile fruits were being made for Doflamingo by Caesar Clown and were then sold to Kaido in exchange for weapons. Weapons that are in fact made by a special metal, a drunken iron ore, a mineral that clearly can only be found in specific pieces of land, such as Wano. Kaido uses the land of Wano for locations for his factories and quarries that search and dig up for minerals such as this. If these are weapons forged from Wano's rare metal yield unique durability and strength, what other rumored properties might they have possessed? Could special modifications introduce sea stone-like effects that can suppress devil fruit abilities when struck? We know that sea stone was originally discovered in Wano and is weaponized around the country, so an idea like this isn't so far-fetched. Perhaps countering foes boasting both supernatural powers and mobility with custom weapons deserves consideration. After all, every top power in the game across the four emperors and beyond flaunts an envy devil fruit capability. Sea Prism as a bonus with weapons could shake up the balance of power for the smaller guys sooner rather than later. By controlling ore mining and weapons manufacturing localized in Wano, Kaido controls a strategic bottleneck in the global weapons pipeline. It is an important resource enabling his position atop the pirates' hierarchy. Drunken iron yields durable capital that purchases loyalty like Doflamingo's, along with simpler needs like smile devil fruits to build beast pirate army. In fact, whoever currently leaks Wano's precious drunken ore into the global underground, facilitating the top tier weapons circulating worldwide, likely represents internal dissent and rebellion awaiting its spark. More signs point to Wano's destiny of upheaval based on centuries of oppression from within and beyond. Starvation, untreated disease, and lethal labor are daily realities under Kaido's occupation, and Kaido's explosive ordnance and firearm stockpiles crush rebellions before they spiral out of control. Regular civilians suffer the most under tyrannical rule cropped by illegal weapon pipelines. In Dressrosa, Doflamingo's sadistic practices and indifference to the welfare of citizens caused immense trauma even before his birdcage initiative aimed to slaughter them. For example, Doflamingo's diamond string weaponry integrates razor wire with his parasite string to gruesomely mutilate resistors while rendering himself as indestructible. So the process is, Kaido, while having control over Wano, is also using the land to mine this mineral that is quite rare on a global scale, which is then used to create weapons which are traded to Doflamingo in exchange for smile fruits. The importance in this deal is because of the smile fruits use. As we see during the arc of Wano, smile fruits being extremely necessary for Kaido to build out his army and also to hold control over basic rights that belong to the people of Wano. So in order for Kaido to take possession over them for his own use, he traded weapons with Doflamingo, an underworld dealer. Both tyrants rely heavily on advanced weapons obtained through back channels to concentrate power and squash dissent. This interdependency between Doflamingo and Kaido persists in the shadows hinted at prior to the 2-year time skip. Though confrontation brews between the warlord and emperor over Caesar Clown during Punk Hazard, their weapons smile arrangement remains intact enough pre-Wano for both Tyrants' needs. A serious question we have to ask ourselves is who actually makes the weapons and who are the biggest customers of this product? A quick answer is that when it comes to the customers, the world government and their affiliated nations are the ones at the front, hungering to expand territory or defend interests no matter what devastation it causes the powerless, acquiring even greater military assets to exert dominance over any land that is not currently bending its knee. Despite the world government's public disavowal of criminal elements like Doflamingo and Kaido, their military appetite covertly enables the weapons pipeline, empowering those very rogues' regimes. From battleship armadas to the infamous Pacifista, replicating destructive beams that are mirroring one of the warlords of the sea, state-sanctioned weapons christened with justice branding enables subjugation of the weak by the mighty. And whether through pirates or world government channels, the common thread is demonizing one's opposition to rationalize acquisition of superior firepower, justice against evil, or ruthlessness securing power. Tyranny rooted in weapons proliferation damages vulnerable populations regardless of ethical pretense. Other specific civilian suffering worth spotlighting includes horrific weapon testing, as Germa 66 is notorious for experimenting on its own people. Advanced weaponry serves as an equalizer for relatively small nations like Germa 66 to project power on the global stage. Though discovery of human experimentation and unethical weapon programs would normally draw international condemnation, the world government's endorsement provides cover for their activities through selective application of justice. Oppression serves itself above all. This gives us a closer look that reveals this weapon pipeline is enabled by deeply rooted corruption, which we already knew well about from the world government endorsing Doflamingo Charade despite his true colors, to Kaido exploiting Wano's people and resources without accountability thanks to his impenetrable fortress reputation. Oppression thrives in the dark corners, but a harder answer to come up for is who makes the weapons. We all know there has to be a middleman used for Kaido to get these weapons to trade. As of right now, the only character who can come to mind would have to be Wapol. As random as it sounds, after the Straw Hats left Drum Island, we are given a series of cover pages addressing what happened to Wapol, where we see Wapol use his Devil Fruit ability to create armor and weapons from metal, which even Frankie used to create his General Frankie form. Even during Karabu's cover story, we see that he's even on Evil Drum Island attacking some weapon factories. This work was enough for Wapol to regain nobility in the world government, and it is here and all around the South Blue that the weapons are being produced from the raw materials that Kaido gathers. But the general location is also key to the industrialization of the South Blue. We even see X-Drake capture Caribou because he was trying to attack these facilities, even though X-Drake works for the Navy but had appeared to be part of Kaido's army. Regardless of the side he is on, he is still being commanded the job to protect these facilities. No matter which side he is doing work for, they both want to protect this asset. The same held when Doflamingo collaborated with the Cypherpole organization to traffic arms despite clashing objectives otherwise. At certain choke points, parties normally opposed gain mutual benefit, covertly cooperating. Though future betrayal often looms, as Crocodile demonstrated partnering with the world government regimen before his ambitions outgrew the arrangement. Weapons offer shadowy common ground pending shaken allegiances. From wars between nations to subversive interventions in local politics, this steady weapon supply catalyzes instability, suiting the world government's underlying doctrine. Their singular justice must reign over all lands not currently under their control. More weapons flowing into chaotic disputes becomes rational to mobilize their forces and install marine bases under premises of restoring order. It is supreme hypocrisy and deception that maintains the balance of power in their favor. The aforementioned nations of Germa 66 offer similar dynamics as well, dealing death through advanced weapons and technology, yet endorsed by the revered world government when politically expedient. The common thread is rivers of weapons enabling those already in power to preserve said power, no matter the human costs among citizens taxed, coerced, and sacrificed to fuel military expansionism. Oppression serves itself first. People's justice comes last. All in all, tracing the illicit weapons pipeline, showering tyrants like Doflamingo and Kaido in energy clearly exposes deep layers of corruption, deception, and tragic human impacts rippling beneath society's surface. Strategic strongholds like Wano provide the raw resources that locationally enable the manufacturing manufacturing and distribution of these weapons, and the world government's thinly veiled hunger for conflict persistence maintains global demand. Ultimately, oppression serves itself first while exploiting the powerless, but winds of change swirl within revolutionary hearts from Dressrosa to Wano and beyond. An awakening happens one conscious at a time. As the story progresses, I predict even more shocking revelations related to war profiteering, ethically combustible innovations like sea stone infused arms, and other complex themes centered around military industrial ecosystems across the most formidable powers. New allegiances between free people, unconstrained by borders or creed, can illuminate the path beyond tyranny's shadows. But for today, exposing reality continues lighting the way towards a future that values all people unconditionally. Those yearning for life and justice will transform systems failing humanity.